By the Cover is a series where I review 3 titles, and I choose each title based on a similarity that their covers have. For this week, I chose, again, illustrated covers. There are too many illustrated covers, so I picked another 3. The first one is Hang the Moon, and the second one is To Love Jason Thorne. I do know that that one has another cover, but we're not going to talk about that. And the third one is It Happened One Summer. Okay, so apparently every sound in the world is going on right now, but we will not be defeated. So the first title is Hang the Moon. The story goes that they knew each other, the main characters, they knew each other before, but then they met again later in life. And it was such a fun book. And although the first chapter was not as strong as I would have liked it, it was still a really light, fun read. The love interest, Brendan, and his sister Darcy, who's the heroine's best friend. The heroine is Annie, and so the 3 of them, they sort of knew each other from a while back, and Brendan sort of always had a crush on the chick. They sort of lured Annie almost, but it was the cutest step into my web thing going on, which I think we can let pass. I love how Brendan's character was written. He was successfully communicated by the author as a not flat person. He was prettied up, basically. He was a great character, and he was written well. He was very developed in a way. The tension, the sexual tension written from Brendan's point of view was phrased with class, if that makes sense. Basically, it was communicated well without making Brendan sound like a barbarian. The way that he regarded Annie from the start was very, very endearing, because from the beginning, he sort of regarded her as if she was someone precious, which is nice. Throughout the book, there were several crutch phrases that the author sort of relied on, but it wasn't too bothersome. The pacing was gradual, but it wasn't boring. The ending was really cute. He was head over heels for the girl, and he persisted, and he got her. The second title is To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mace. It was an exciting book. This story is brother's best friend trope, where the younger sister has this thing for the older brother's best friend. There's a section of the story where their childhood is discussed, and I really appreciated it. It was so cute. I'm looking at my notes, and it's written here. Lots of intimate scenes, which is true. There are lots of intimate scenes. I would like to point out that since I am an adult, there are a variety of books that I read. Not all of them are closed door. Some of the romance titles that will come up here will have adult content, and I can't always state it explicitly that there are intimate scenes, but when I can, I will. So this book has a lot of intimate scenes. And if that is an issue for you, you might want to either not read that part or skip. The book was very exciting. It wasn't boring, but the ending, towards the end, it felt a bit rushed. Most of the story was sort of focused on how they fell in love, and the turning point of the book came at 90%, which is a bit late for me. So the everything towards the end was sort of a crash landing, and I would have liked it to be hashed out a little more. I think a few more chapters to sort of spread out the things that led up to the ending would have helped. While the ending did feel a little bit rushed, the ending was still very appealing. I liked how Jason, from the start, although he didn't immediately love Olive. From the beginning, he was very kind to her. He was never cruel. He was sort of enamored with her energy right from the beginning, and I think that's a good starting point, or like a foundation for the character development and for the situation to progress into love. A con that I have for this book is that the communication between Jason and Olive was a bit muddy, or something akin to that. Olive was sort of left until the very, very end to guess whether Jason really likes her or not. Given how Jason's character was written, I was sort of surprised that he just didn't come out with it as soon as he realized that he had fallen for Olive. It just felt a little bit off to me that he just didn't admit it. I felt a bit sorry for her because she didn't have any sense of security until the end, because Jason would never admit to things. For me, it could have been improved. The level of drama on the third title, It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, is on a different world. This book is the first of Tessa Bailey's works that I've read, but after reading it, I immediately put her on my watch list. I think she's a very, very engaging writer. Overall, the dialogue for the entire book was so funny. Piper's character she was supposed to be an airhead, but I liked how she was written. There were some parts, like the part about the lipstick purse, had me cracking up so much, and a bunch of other lines that just made you sort of liked her anyway, even if she was written to be this airhead. I love the way that Brendan regarded Piper right from their first encounter. Even though he was mad, he wasn't. That's how it came off to me, that even though he was mad at her, he wasn't really. And I think that says a lot about how his character was written. Character development-wise, I think that Brendan and Piper's characters were written flawlessly. Their characteristics, their views, beliefs, and all that, it sort of came out flawlessly in their actions. It wasn't too in your face. There was a seamless way in which the writer phrased it within the book. I also liked how throughout most of the book, you don't really have a very clear assumption as to who will be moving states. They both had reasons to stay, but they also had reasons to go, which I liked. You sort of couldn't guess immediately. One of the things that was very evident in Bailey's writing style was that she could create tension very well. And that's one thing to appreciate in her work. I have read 1 or 2 of her other books since then, and this is a constant for her. She knows how to write tension well, and I think that's very important in creating an interesting plot and keeping your reader interested throughout the book. About Brendan, I like that he had this all or nothing attitude when it came to Piper. He was a no-nonsense kind of guy. Probably the only con that I have for this book is that this is a very nitpicky, specific part of the book, but it's the only one I have. It's the only bad thing that I can say about this book, is that somewhere in the beginning, or somewhat beginning of the book, Piper and Hannah, Piper's sister, their mom sort of had a warning to them about the men of Westport, which is their hometown, and it was sort of in the nose for what was gonna happen.